Welcome to this session on publishing content in SharePoint 2013. We're going to talk about the following in this session: creating a new page on your portal site, page check-in, checkout, and version control for your pages on your portal site, and publishing a page on your portal site. Creating a new article page. The purpose of this section is to introduce the concept of a new article page. From the Site Actions menu, click New Page, then you give the page a name. So you go add a page, give the page a name, and then you can actually click Create. That creates the page. And then once the page is created, you're able to edit the page. You're put right into the editor of the page where you can add content. When you're editing a page, the ribbon in SharePoint displays the Page tab. Here you have a lot of options. You have options to save your page, to check in and check out your page, to edit the properties of your page, to delete the page, to look at the history of your page, what changes have been made over time. If you want to set up email notifications on this page, you can do that. If you want to email a link to this page, you would do that. If you want to change the layout of the page, you would select Page Layout. If you wanted to preview the page as a viewer might see it, you would click on the Preview button. If you wanted to see what links are attached to this page, you would click on Draft Check, and it would show you what links are on this page. And then finally here, if you wanted to go to the Pages library and view all the pages on your site, you would click View All Pages. Saving page changes. Saving your page just persists your changes. Others will not see your changes until you check the page in. Save and close saves changes and exits edit mode, but an important point to know is your page is still checked out. Saving and keep editing merely persists the changes, and you've made changes to the page, but you can keep on editing. If you click on Stop Editing, that discards all of the changes that you've made to the page, but your file is still checked out. The purpose of this section is to introduce the concept of page check-in and version control. When choosing to edit a page or when creating a new page, the page will be checked out to you. This gives you exclusive access to the page so that nobody else can make changes to the page. Once you've made your edits to the page, you can actually check in when you've completed your changes so that other contributors can see the changes that you've made. An option here is to discard the checkout if you were making changes and you realize that, no, this is not what I wanted to do. I'm just going to check the page back in and forget everything that I've done. You would click Discard Checkout. You can do an explicit checkout to disallow others from editing the page as well. If you wanted to override a checkout, so say that there's a page being edited by somebody else and you needed to make changes, you can select Override Checkout. But please keep in mind, if you select that, that will disregard any changes that they've made to the page, and yours will now be the checked out version of the page. Versioning. Page history shows the edits made to the page over time. Older versions can be deleted or restored. To access the versions of your page, you would go on the ribbon on the Page tab and click Page History. And this will show you all the versions of your pages, what version of the page it is, and when it was last checked in. Versioning page changes. As you click through the page history on the left, the content appears in the center with the changes indicated. So for example, for this particular version 11.2, which is this one here, you can actually see what changes were made to the pages. It shows you what was added or deleted to the page. As you hover over each one, or as you click on each one, I should say, you can see the changes that were made to that page over time. Version history at a glance. The version history link in the page history shows a more concise list of the changes over time. Here you can actually see a very high level overview of what changes were made to the page. In this version 8.1, um, the page is in a draft state and there was some content edited. This is the previous version, version 8 of the very same page. It was the one that's last published. So this is the page that everyone will see until this particular version gets published. Publishing a page. The purpose of this section is to introduce the concept of publishing pages in SharePoint. The publish command allows the content creator or page editor to promote the page to its next stage of approval. It indicates that the content manager is complete with the edits and they desire the approval of their work. It also indicates that the content is possibly ready for public consumption on the portal. The ribbon the ribbon Publish tab shows several things. You can publish a page, so you click here if you wanted to actually publish your page now. Schedule, if you wanted to schedule the publication of your page for some future date and time. If the page has already been submitted for publishing, you would be able to click on approve or reject the page. Right now they're grayed out because the page has not been submitted but for publishing. But once it had been submitted, you would be able to click on approve or reject. And also you would have a look at the variation options. You can actually start a workflow or see the status of that particular page, where it is in the publishing workflow. If you click on Publish Page, Submit Publish, it brings up this dialog box. Comments can be added in here, and also you can send a message to people with the assigned tasks. So the approver must now approve or reject the page. If Publish was clicked and the page is published and approved in one step. Publish page, approve or reject on the ribbon Publish tab. Once submitted for publishing, a page can be approved or rejected. Only those people with approver rights can do so. Some content managers have the ability to approve pages themselves. Some do not, and it requires a separate person to actually approve the content. A dialog will offer an option to leave comments in either case. When available, publishing page, you can actually schedule the publishing of a page. When available, it allows a created page to be shown only when the start date is met until the end date is met. So here, if you clicked on schedule, you would say, when did you want the page to be published? You can either select now, or if you click on a future date, you can select a future date and time. You can also determine here when this page is no longer available. Right now, the option is selected for never. But if you selected on a following date, you can actually take this page out of service on a specific date and time as well. This is for those pages that only have a very short life cycle and are only meant to be viewed for a very short time. Publish page, unpublish a page. Users can retract a page version. So if you have a page that's published and there are some errors or some problems with it, you can actually unpublish the page. Unpublishing removes the page from general consumption and it replaces it with the page that was previously approved. Some things for your reference. There's some URLs here on how to convert documents and resize images. All of these links are on the Content Manager team site at team.lcbo.com/sitescms. There's instructions on doing article update instructions for the portal. There's an option to how to create a hyperlink, how to create a summary web part, and portal publish and approval instructions. This provides you a little more detail about the portal publish and approval process. Also for your reference, we would ask that you visit the community portal support site at team.lcbo.com/site/cms. You can also go to the SharePoint Training Center, which is basically on the same page, but same site, I should say, but there's a page called trainingcenter.aspx, and this gives you some very helpful content and videos that provides you information on SharePoint. There's also SharePoint Training section, How Do I? That you can view this content. How do I create a page? How do I create a list? How do I create a library? Some very useful content there. SharePoint, there's also a link here on SharePoint Training Document Collaboration. If I wanted to find out some more information about collaborating on documents, there's some very useful videos that are available there on that page. And finally, there's some image specifications. So if you need to know how big an image needs to be for a specific web part, whether it's the featured rotator or the featured article or news item, uh, the image specifications give you the exact sizes that your images must be for those specific web parts. That's it for this session on publishing in SharePoint 2013. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to anyone in the web services team. Please also feel free to view any of the other content videos that we have produced to assist you. Thank you.